Hello, all. We are back. We are about to go into the belly of the beast, or the blade of the beast. Who knows? Hello, all. We are back. Oh, wait. About to go into the belly. I'm getting feedback.
No, that was me. I'm sorry. I fixed it.
Okay.
I was listening to the summer music. Unfortunately, that meant that our audio kicked in. Go.
Isn't that summer music great? I love it. Okay, we're here. Before Miltani, Multali, sorry, I don't know. Before Multali does the jump, is it okay if I say that I've given one of my black shot uses to I'm gonna get everyone's names, I'm sure. To Raya.
I mean, works for me. Trash.
Is that okay?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Awesome.
I think you folks are deploying and doing your thing and prepping.
Yeah, we were talking about doing this. So I'm like, I go gift from the Quartermaster, and it's the what does Black Shot look like? Like this is the first time. Like, do you
want me to describe it?
If you've got it, I'd love to hear your description of it. Yeah.
So Black Shot is fairly rare, and it's an alchemical that isn't perfectly stable. So the way we visualize it, the reason it actually takes a little bit of load. Sorry, I'm getting a weather warning on my phones. I'll make it die.
Are you in the blizzard zone?
I am. We have what is called a bomb cyclone, which is the most metal name for it.
Right?
Yeah. I think Black Shot comes in a case. It's got a wooden rectangle with holes in it. And you'll actually see the shot placed in those holes, sort of like beakers. Just obviously, it's like cartridges. It's got like a little leatherette case, like with a little clip or a latch or something. And it's usually so it's stored like that so that it doesn't like rattle too much and it doesn't get like smashed in.
Yeah.
So
nice. Yeah. So I open up the case. Seems like
I was going to say, Strash, my assumption is that I got my stuff back from Miltali.
Yes.
My charm things.
Yeah, that stuff, yes, but whatever's been buried outside is buried outside.
No, the armor is still buried, yeah. I care less about the armor than I do the charms.
Naturally. That's a good word.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So Matali, as you're going in, we're gonna get your die pool together, but I just wanted to ask, what's going through your head as you're about to engage with this thing that, I mean, you've seen friends die to horrible stuff like this, on Edmark Fields, and here you are. You're like, sometimes through it is the best way. So, like, give us like 2 seconds or 5 seconds of monologue here. Like, what's in your head? Is it just or like, is there? I miss my mom.
I'm thinking about the commander, because that's what we rescue, right?
Yes.
And I think I couldn't be here if the commander didn't.
Oh, hang on. I think your audio cut out.
Oh,
that explains it. Yeah.
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 I think at some point the commander did the same thing. He came across the battlefield for me, and so this is me coming for him.
Her.
Her.
Yes. Awesome. Is she also Barton?
No, she's not.
Okay, awesome. We'll figure out her particular nationality here in a hot second. But yeah, I think this is the time where we put the dice together. So this sounds like a skirmish.
Awesome.
I think it's wreck, right?
Oh, it can be wreck.
I mean, probably skirmish is better for you. Sorry, I'm a stop. Jay, yeah. I'm gonna shut up.
I'd like skirmish, but if we're trying to crack open its armor, wreck makes sense.
Okay. If you use wreck, it's probably going to be slightly less risky because you're not trying to engage in battle so much as you're trying to just like keep that sword from bisecting you while you're trying to wreck its armor open.
Right.
Okay. So wreck is going to be risky if you're going with that. Skirmish is probably going to be desperate. How are you feeling?
I'm going with wreck.
All right. Awesome. So you've got that. And this is where we talk about assists, pushes, whether you want to spend anchor or not. So for those of you watching at home, every specialist has like this cool ability that they come with, right? So like officers have the ability to like gain stuff from back at camp for their troops. Medics have the ability to kind of patch up and heal people. But the heavy ability, scouts are able to scrounge the local area either for goods or for a safe place to hide. But the heavy has the ability to fight as a small unit for one action. So if you do that, you effectively count as 5 people because you like push yourself and you've been trained to fight as like an entire squad of your own. So do you wish to use anchor? Because it's a very limited resource, like obviously, right? Like, do you want to save it? Do you want to use it? Because if you use it, you'll probably have better effects, but
I'm absolutely using it.
All right.
This is the moment, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. So you're spending anchor. Are you pushing yourself?
I will push myself.
Awesome. For those of you above, have you assisted your heavy in any way?
I feel like this is the perfect time, Misha, if you want it, for Cobalt to be dropping the chandelier, right?
Yeah,
like,
I'm like over there, like sawing at the rope for the chandelier.
Awesome. So I think this thing like goes to Misha. You're gonna have to spend a stress, and that's gonna give you +1d there, Jay. And if you push yourself, you get another +1d, so you're gonna be rolling 3 dice total. I think the chandelier, like this thing steps forward and it looks like it's gonna bisect your heavy, like that like it's putting everything into that sword. The sword glows, and then the chandelier comes crashing down. You realize that this thing isn't super fast, but it rotates and it tries to like bring its sword up to like it's gonna bisect the chandelier instead, which leaves it kind of vulnerable to Jay.
Nice.
What's Jay's effect since he's using anchor?
I'm gonna say, well, it's a threat 3 opponent. It's kind of it's monstrous. So if you're using anchor, I'm gonna say so it has one level of quality on you, which means that you're doing limited to start with. But if you're using anchor, you're gonna be doing standard.
Okay.
And I think that if you're wrecking and you're wrecking with Warhammer, you have like the appropriate tools and everything. I feel like maybe I'll grant you potency. So I'm actually gonna say great effect.
Nice. And then my bonus dice are 3.
2.
2.
Because you have 1 maneuver. You're getting +1 from Misha's assist, and you're getting +1 from your push.
Yeah.
And then let me mark stress for that push. All right. Here he comes.
Come on. Oh my
4.
God. Okay,
so
you got it.
So here's the good news, and here's the bad news. The good news is that you land that blow, right? Like you land it, you latch it into the armor, and you crank that armor open, and this blast furnace of black fire that it burns you, but like your hammer is like bright red from the heat. You hear yourself kind of sizzling in your armor because like this thing is like roasting you from like that heat furnace in its belly, right?
Right.
And somehow when that heat comes out, you know that it hates your very existence. Like it burns you not just with like temperature, but also with hate. Yeah, it's very hateful heat. Usually you take level 2 harm for risky action, but this thing is 1 quality above you, so you're going to take level 3 harm. And I'm just going to say, like, burnt alive. Would you like to resist?
Yeah, I would like to resist that.
Awesome.
Down to that.
I mean, you have your armor, you have your shield, right? Like you've got all that stuff too.
So you can reduce it down. I will actually tell you a secret, which is that your medic has the ability to just heal level 1 harm. So if you want to reduce it down to level 1, that's okay. You're going to be at less effect until the end of the fight, but you're going to be okay otherwise.
Right.
You can spend armor. You can spend multiple things. You can like take 1 level of armor. You can take 2 levels of armor because you have heavy armor, right?
Right.
You can lose a shield and an armor. However you want to do this, you tell me. Or you can roll a resistance. You can roll a prowess resist. But it looks like you're pretty close to traumaing, so I don't know if you want to do that.
You've got a good prowess resist, but still.
Right.
It's very risky prowess resist.
Yeah.
I will lose the shield and a point of armor.
Cool. So that's going to reduce the harm down to level 1. So I'm just write down like superficial burns in your level 1 harm slot, and otherwise you're fine. I think that's where we're at. So what does everyone else want to do with this thing?
I mean,
I'm gonna shoot with black shot.
the important thing is that like we see a hole open, right?
Yeah, you do. Like the heavy latches their hammer in and cranks this thing open and is also out of the way of the line of fire, right? Like this is like your heavy knew what they were doing. Like they pull that open and like, you know, like are leaning holding it open, right? So
yeah, I yell open fire and everybody with black shot, I say we aim for the open spot.
Awesome. So this is where we talk about quality. And specialists generally have fine gear, but rookies do not. Rookies have standard gear. Rookies count as threat 1. Specialists count as threat 2. Now, in this situation, so usually like if it's an officer and some rookies, I just say you count as threat 1 and we don't talk about it anymore. But in this situation, there is enough specialists. There's like 3 specialists firing and you have, you know, rookies equipped with black shot and whatnot, and you have a setup. That I feel like effectively I'm going to give your squad the equivalent of threat 2.
Threat 2 across the board? Okay, awesome.
Threat 2 across the board. Yeah. For firing. If you roll a 4 to a 5, that's going to be a different story.
Well, so, I mean, that was the other thing is I was like, should we even have the rookies fire? Because we all have fine weapons and black. We all have all the right stuff. So it could just be the 3 of us, the 3 specialists unloading and not the rookies. But I mean, if it makes sense to just everyone open up.
Well, you tell me, Sean. Because if you put the rookies in the mix, you specialists will count as a small group and the rookies will count as a small group. So combined, you would be a medium group and you have lead from the front, which would give it yet another level of scale effectively.
Yeah.
So you tell me if you want the extra damage. I mean, this is a 10 clock monster. So hey.
Yeah, I want the extra damage. Everybody unloads this thing.
Sounds good. So you have a setup. Now I feel like you're firing from, let's talk about this. It could be a risky or a controlled position. It doesn't feel desperate. You're above, you're firing below, right? Like your heavies opened up the target and they're not in the way of the fire. I don't feel like it's controlled though. I feel like this thing has more than a few tricks in its arsenal, and it may be able to get to you and establish some pretty serious risk here.
I think before anything happened, if we were just standing there on the balcony shooting at it, that feels to me like that would be risky because it could jump up and mess with us. But like we have height, but we do have a good vantage point. So I would argue that we start at risky, and then with the setup action, we can either improve that or improve the effect.
Sounds good. So this is
I don't know what our effect is, but because that's going to be that's some maths.
So you would start at limited effect, but using black shots, you'd be at standard. Then you have 2 levels of group on it effectively. So you would be at 1 above great. So you'll do significant harm to it. Why don't you?
So do we go for risky extreme or risky great +1, or do we go? Do we go for controlled great +1 or risky great +2?
Well, I have nothing in shoot, so keep that in mind.
You can push yourself, or the heavy could assist you, or we could talk about a devil's bargain, or you could just let her rip and assume that the officer is going to absorb 1 stress and it'll be okay.
Yeah, right. If I have to take a stress, I haven't taken too much right now that I'll be taken out by this.
I figured I could just push myself. That was my plan.
Okay, so we're gonna go risky great +2 effect.
Risky great +2. Okay.
I want to wreck this thing.
All right, let's. And you're leading, Sean?
I'm leading. Yep.
All right, let's do a risky shoot.
That's part of our scale. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're a large group right now. Cool. So everybody will shoot. I can't push myself because I may end up taking a ton of stress.
That is true. But you are loyal.
I'm loyal, so I'm taking +1 on that. Jay is Mutali in the position to assist any of us?
I think Jay has like 1 free stress.
Yeah, if I do, I will trauma out.
No, you won't. Band of Blades actually, one of the things that we play tested it with people that hadn't played Blades before, and what we discovered is that people are like, okay, so I have 6 boxes. I'm going to fill 6 boxes. And after the 6 boxes are filled, if I try and go over the meter, then you trauma. So you can actually go right to the edge in Band of Blades.
Yeah.
You can fill up the full 6 and not trauma. It's when you go to the 7th that you're trauma.
Yeah. But that also means it's your last stress. So
Yep.
I'm totally happy if you're.
That's up to you.
If you're not about it.
Because we haven't even opened the door yet.
Yeah, that's true. All right, cool. No, let's just go.
But I mean, you might just be like, look, this is my hurrah. I've done everything I can. It's up to the team now. And then you might just go to your dice. Who knows? This is the game.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with taking the stress risk right now. I think one of us will roll well. I'm praying.
So Jay, let me know if you're assisting and who you're assisting. Sean, you ready to drop those dice?
Yeah, I'm ready to drop. I'm just
go.
Waiting to see if Jay wants to do it.
Well, Jay, assist.
I think I'm a pass. I think I'm a hold off on this.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sean, roll them bones.
Cool.
5. Could be worse. Misha, go ahead.
Okay. And you said risky.
Mm-hmm.
Risky. I said extreme, but it's actually one above.
It's totally fine. Just set it to whatever the highest is for effect. But the dice are the only thing that's.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Well, we've hit it.
At a cost.
So far, it's at a cost. I don't like it, but. Yes! Oh God!
You're bringing it home. So fun fact. Sean is leading from the front in combat, and according to his ability, if there's a second 6 on the table, it counts as a crit.
Yes.
Oh, so I still want to roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just saying.
And then we're gonna roll 1 die for the rookies.
Yeah.
I got a 4.
Cool.
Hey, no stress. That's the important one.
Right.
All right.
And, here, let me toss some dice for the rookies real quick.
Come on, rookies.
Roll the bone.
Roll. All right.
That's the 3. So you take 1 stress from the rookies.
Take 1 stress.
I think there's
appropriate.
So, yeah, I'm stressed. Sean is having conversations.
So I think there's a moment where you see this thing like rip itself forward, and like these shots are hammering into it, and it takes like a step, and it like crouches down, right, and like Jay or Mahani pulls back on it. It looks like it's gonna leap up, like it thinks it can clear this balcony and just like bisect the whole unit. Like it's sort of at this point is white hot. But yeah, you dump. Let me see here. So 1 second, doing some quick maths.
Yeah.
I think you hammer it with black shot, and it gets about halfway up, and you see like those black flames go out. Like you get blasted with some of the heat, but like it just stops functioning for a second. Like when the black shot hits it, black shot usually, like even if it just like nicks an undead, you'll see like ethereal green fire, and then lesser undead just like drop as of like basically a marionette with their strings cut, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you hit this, and the green flame mixes with the black, and you just pepper with so much shot that the black flame converts completely to the green, and this armor just clatters to the ground. Like it doesn't quite finish its full like arc with the sword and everything. It just sort of like hits the banister and like falls over. Still feels hot, but isn't moving. What do you folks want to do?
Breathe.
I'm gonna run down the stairs and try to open the door.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'm keeping my eye on this thing. I still have my pistol, and I'm just like, I'm not shaking. I'm probably shaking. I'm still holding my pistol just in case.
You keep it together for the rookies.
Yeah.
Awesome. So your heavy is wounded. Your scout runs up to the door.
I'm gonna go help with the heavy.
So this quick ponier, rushes by. What does it look like? Heavy. What does it like? Medic. What does it look like when you administer first aid to these like burns and boils inside the armor.
Yeah, so I am like flipping open, containers of salve and like really quickly trying to like stretch out this like bandage. So I like spread the salve on it and put bandage over it. But also, I mean, I'm stoic and I'm a combat medic, so I think that I am fairly calm about his actual wounds. But I do think my hands are shaking a little bit because this thing is something like it's something else. We've never seen this before.
Yeah. I imagine his armor is still kind of warm from it too, right? Like from the heat.
So Heavy, do you say anything to your friend who's treating your wounds? Do you or do you just like quietly stand there and take the medications?
I take the medication, but I'm like, it's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. We got work to do.
I think that actually makes me smile. Like, I see what you're doing.
It's not that bad. It's all right. It's fine.
So you're spreading like alchemical ointments and stuff and on the burns, and you feel the pain like sap away from you. You'll actually remove the level 1 harm. That's the rules, and you have to spend a level of doctor, dear doctor.
How do I do that in this role?
It's just the use. I don't know. Actually, let me take a look at the sheets.
I don't think we have it on the sheet.
We don't have it on the sheet. Sorry, I'm used to like the actual physical sheets. My bad. I think it's going to be simple. Just put it in your notes. Say like spent 1 doctor use, and you'll be fine.
Okay, and then, so it's using doctor, not medical supplies?
It's actually, oh, wait, did I misread the power? My bad.
Yeah, first aid uses medical supplies.
I mean, you can uncheck medical supplies and it's all good, doctor.
Okay, let's do that.
Yes, my bad. I mean, I don't know these rules. Who wrote this game?
Some things do use doctor. It has uses as well.
You're right. I know that the saving the life, like when you do the level 4 to level 3 harm takes doctor. I just mixed up the 2 powers.
Yes, I almost took not today because that's a fucking amazing name for a specialty.
It's
right.
Not today.
Cool.
You know why I didn't take it? It was because I was like, this is the first mission. Nobody's gonna hit 4 harm.
So Scout, I'm gonna ask you a terrible thing.
Okay.
The commander was once very stern with you. What did you do, and what was your punishment?
I had broken into I'd broken into some supply dump and liberated some booze.
Oh, okay.
We got in a little trouble because we were a little drunk.
Were you still a rookie back then?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And my punishment was so like one of the other rookies got like super duper sick and kind of like yacked all over the place. So my punishment was I had to clean the armor that the rookie puked on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're scrubbing armors for like a while. Awesome.
For a while.
Yeah, it's got to get on all the joints, and it's got to just be a mess to clean up.
It was pretty gross.
Awesome. So I think officer, there's this moment where one of the rookies is holding their musket and you can see the tip of it shaking, and they go like, "Is it dead?" Looking at the armor, it's still giving off heat. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. I think. Because I was watching it too. Like, it's giving off heat, and I feel like the heat that we saw like was a force of the undead. Like, it doesn't. I'm kind of concerned that it's not just heat because it's residual, but like that there's something still there.
Cool, Misha.
Yep.
You opened the door. Or actually, you tell me. Are you opening the door?
Yes, but very carefully. Like
okay, so like you open like a tiny crack, right?
Yeah.
Give me a controlled scout roll. Just let me see like how your outcome might be that you end up in a risky position, but you're trying to stay under the radar here.
standard effect?
Yeah.
Josh, I'm putting another black shot shell into my pistol.
Double fives.
So this means that you can press on with a risky action, or you can do it with a minor consequence. So you go to open the door and you realize that there's not a lot of ways for this to be super sneaky. Sean, I heard you about the black shot shell. It might be relevant in a second here. So my question here is, do you want to, there's the door is set up in such a way that as you start opening it, you kind of see like some figures through it. You realize that there's no way to open it without basically giving away that you folks are on this side of the door. Do you want to press on, or do you want to just do it and take the fact that they can see you as a consequence?
Yeah, I had assumed that anybody in the room was going to see me. I just want to know how many people and where they were so that I could relay that information when I threw the door open the rest of the way.
Okay, so you are opening the door? Let me
Yes.
just be clear. Awesome. So yeah, you open the door and you realize that there are 3 figures in this room. The first one is the commander, and the commander looks like someone that's not in a good way. They've been basically tormented here for a while. There is an undead creature behind the commander that again is not an undead type you've ever seen before. It looks like a person that is extremely emaciated. They look like a corpse that is got that super pallid flesh. And their fingers have extra joints, and they're latched onto the commander's head. And they have a long snake-like tongue with little bone protrusions sticking out of it that is curled around the commander's neck and sort of sneaking, it's actually going in the skin, and obviously you see black veins and makeup, like in a movie, it's obvious that they're slowly trying to turn them by making their brain undead.
Brain.
So yes, so obviously the commander is standing there, and when she looks up, she's got this fierce look of determination, like she's grinding her teeth and retaining her humanity at all costs, right? But you realize that some of that corruption is seeping in. You actually see one of her eyes is a little warped and distended. So with all of your feels as the commander, you see her in this terrible position. And the third figure in the room is another Cinder Guard. What do you folks want to do?
No big deal.
It's standing. It's standing at attention, much like this one was in this room, but standing in front of a window. There's a conference table. Well, actually, we shouldn't say conference table. It's a meeting table where they have maps and talk about kingdom matters. So yeah, there's a big oaken style table between them and you, and that's what's in the room. There's only 3 figures in there. One of them's the commander, and the rest of your squad's out here. What does everyone want to do?
I'm gonna take a shot at the thing holding the commander.
So So you pull back your bow. I assume you're shooting with your bow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you pull back your bow.
You've got black shot arrows, right?
I do.
You take real close aim, and you see the thing that's holding the commander's head. It just lifts her up to stand in between it and you to make the shot difficult, right? Obviously, as the classic standoff. And the commander just looks at you and gives you the slightest of nods.
All right.
So do it anyway.
Are you gonna push yourself?
Yes, I have just enough to push myself.
All right. All comes down to this roll.
Yeah, right.
Now I have to tell you, in a fantasy novel, this is where you put an arrow right through into its skull and it falls over dead and you save the day. But in dark fantasy, you might just kill the commander. We'll see.
Yeah, we're worried about that. Position.
I mean, this feels risky. The risk is largely to the commander. Just saying.
Yeah.
Effect.
Standard. This thing is actually not super powerful. It's not wearing armor. I don't if you hit it with that arrow and you hit it the only place that's visible, which is parts of its head, it's probably gonna be pretty badly hurt. Just saying.
Well, and she's using black shot with a fine bow, so it's got good gear.
5.
Well,
no problem. You hit that thing in the head. The green flames explode. Just one issue. It takes a step backwards, and like I said, there's this jet of ethereal green fire. And this is where I say, it and the commander go out the window, splattering on the cobblestones below.
We can resist that.
There we go. Yes, we can totally resist that.
There's something we can do with that. What is the word?
We can. I have an idea. I'm also trained on this Cinder Guard that I'm not 100% sure is dead. But does anyone want to? Because anyone can resist that. It doesn't.
I was gonna say I've only taken 2 stress, so I have a bunch of boxes I can use, and I do feel like I'm not up to anything specific right now, so I would do that.
Yeah.
So you can totally have been like walking up to where the scout is, and then when Misha fires, this thing starts stumbling, and you start jumping forward. Give me tell me how you're resisting this. I mean, this is the consequence of a physical action, so this is gonna be a prowess resist. But like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
No matter what happens, you're going to stop this. Just tell me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only how much stress does it cost?
Yeah. So is this a situation where just like physically getting to the commander and like yanking her out of the way would be helpful, or
you can totally do that last minute, jump through the window, catch her hand, and then like the tongue of this thing rips off and it falls down, but the commander doesn't.
I love it.
Totally
so much.
doable.
So good.
So this is prowess.
Yeah.
Okay. And do I want to push myself?
You probably don't, because you spend two stress to push, and what you're trying to do is roll to not take stress. So
so
sometimes it makes sense, but it's.
I got a 4 and a 2.
So your prowess. I'm gonna tell you a little thing though. I believe you're stoic, which gives you +1d to prowess resist, which I don't know that you're accounted for.
Yeah.
You can just type /roll 1d6 or
1d6.
Okay, it didn't help in this instance, but it will in the future.
Yep.
A 4 still means you pay 2 stress and you catch the commander.
Okay.
So great, good news. This is where 2 things happen, and then I ask you what your escape plan is. Thing the first. The Cinder Guard in the room activates its sword, like glows. It turns around and looks at you, and you get a feeling that it's going to come down and bisect you here in a second. You've got your arm out the window, and you're holding the commander like right through the window.
Yeah.
So that's 1. 2, the Cinder Guard behind you activates. And you see the black flame reignite in its belly. And what does everyone want to do? What was the escape plan? Did you have, I don't know.
I have the escape plan right now.
Tell me, officer, what is the escape plan?
I'm going to do a flashback to with the quartermaster. I'm going to say we can't just send 1 scout with a climbing kit. We need the medic to have a kit too. We're going to have to climb up a tower. How do you think we're going to do that with 1 climbing kit? That's madness. We need 2. And
awesome.
So I would like to use channels to make sure that you have a grapple that you could just hook onto the thing, go sliding down the window. Basically, you don't have to pull the commander up. You just can go down.
Right. I just have to control the descent.
I mean, it's not like it's making it easy, but at least it's making it possible.
Awesome. So, Sean, it sounds like you're going to spend a channels use and just grant her a thing. So I will ask you to roll your sway. To establish the quality of the kit that you are providing.
Let's see it. Okay, standard, right?
Standard. That's all you needed. That means that it's not deficient. It's not missing anything. It's a nice kit. Your commander. Where's the commander's in Yachty. It's a nice kit, and we definitely see you pull it out at the last second. Do you want to do the plan? Is this like a grapple and get GTFO? All right, awesome. I'm going to handle that in a second. I'm going to ask
Yeah.
everyone else here. What are you doing about the two very angry, very powerful Cinder Guards here? Is there a plan?
So there's a new one in the room, and the previously thought dead one.
Yeah, that one's the one that's thought dead. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've got like a little clocky thing for it. It's not in good shape. But yeah, there is one behind you. Its armor is still rent. People can still get benefits to attacking it.
Yeah.
The one in the room is fresh.
Right.
But I will remind you that your goal is not to defeat them. If you want to do something like just block some shots while people get out a window, you can do that. If you want to charge and try and knock it out a window, you can do that. You just tell me what you want to do here.
I don't think fighting these things. I think we run, and I mean, this is we got our objective. This is get the hell out. I don't know, Jay, but Zayanova doesn't can't control your actions in the moment. My thought is it's everybody bail. We're still in the previous room. The fully active Cinder Guard they don't move fast, and he's in a whole other room from us.
Yep.
Right. No, I'm good with that.
Cool.
I think if the commander's out and free, then yeah.
Yeah. And we saw that, right? We could see that through the...
Well, we'll see. There might be some rolls just for escape. I might make everyone do a group maneuver to GTFO and bail out.
That's what I'm thinking.
Which is fine. But the obstacle to making that roll is the fact that you've got a dude who can bisect your entire unit with a sword in that room. So
right.
How do you take care of that before you do the let's all run away scene?
I think we run back. We don't have to go out the same way. We still have the rope from before. We haven't gone into that room. Fuck that room. Let's go back to the way we came in.
So you make the retreat call.
Yeah.
You're retreat. Okay, so I'm gonna deal with the retreat here in 1 second. I'm just gonna ask the heavy: are you retreating with the unit, or are you advancing and going out the same way the medic is?
I'm retreating with the unit. I will probably be the last.
Medic, I have a bad and ugly question for you, which is I need you to make you need to tell me how you get out that window with the commander safely. I'm expecting a maneuver roll, but if you've got a different clever strategy, you feel free to tell me.
No, I think I'm happy with that. I have 2 in maneuver.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, I'm pretty okay on that front.
Awesome.
So yeah, I think it's just sort of quick thinking, right? I basically, before I even consciously realize it, I'm out the window, I look behind me, I see that Cinder Guard, fuck this shit. I hook the grappling hook on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this is just a risky maneuver. Do you want to push, or do you want to just trust the dice and then resist some outcomes?
Well, I'm already marked for stress.
So you only have 1 push remaining, which means that you have to. This is where you make the decision. Do you want to push and hope for a 6, or do you want to expect a 4 to 5 on 2 dice and then resist the outcome?
I probably should just expect a 4 to 5, I think.
All right, let's do this. So just toss them maneuver bones and let's see what the roll says. It's bad.
It's real bad.
So we might be seeing our first trauma here.
To be fair, I'm a doctor, not a climber.
So there's a moment where you latch the grappling hook into the window, and you're doing that rappel downwards.
Yeah.
And you just see the sword.
Yeah.
It goes through the wall and the rope, and then back through the wall, and it just cuts the rope, and the 2 of you go dropping. So this is a risky scenario. Now I'm not giving you harm according to Cinder Guard, because the Cinder Guard is not actually hurting you. It's the fall.
It's the ground.
And that's it's not the fall. It's the sun stop at the end, right? So yeah, I think that there is a massive fall. There's a split second where you see the commander's eyes go wide. You see her hair fly out, and then the 2 of you are free falling. So you're both going to take level 2 harm.
Okay.
And I think your level 2 harm is, it's just you fell 2 stories. It's not your back's broken or something. I think you just have battered and bruised, it's not good. You're on the ground oh
yeah, maybe a cracked rib or yeah.
So take level 2 harm, and unfortunately this is where I tell you that you're in a desperate situation, because as you stand up and you look around, you realize there's a shit ton of undead in this courtyard.
Yep.
We'll get back to you.
Right.
Misha, Jay, and the rest of the unit.
Raya could resist either of those two things, right?
Correct.
Right. So you save the stress for that purpose. You could try and resist the harm, or you could try and resist being in the desperate situation.
Correct.
Or not try and resist. You could succeed.
I definitely want to resist being in the desperate situation.
Well, come up with an idea for how you resist that.
Yeah.
It might just be, I don't know, maybe the scout passed you a smoke flare or something. I don't know. We'll talk. Back in the other room, you folks have like a creature that is reigniting.
Yeah.
You're like, go, right? And so like people are backing up, but this.
I fired my last round of black shot into it. I'm not trying to hurt it. I'm just trying to slow it down. I'm sitting there at point blank, as it gets up, I'm just like, retreat, and I just unload into it, and then it's all run.
Give me some sort of action to cover the retreat here.
I think it's maneuver.
That's fine. I don't have a problem. Are you all just gonna do a group maneuver?
Yeah.
I think that's good. I'll lead.
It's okay, Jay. If you're not really good at maneuver, it just means that you're gonna give someone stress.
Gotcha.
I mean, otherwise, yeah, it's better for us to do it as a group because then we take our best result. So even if someone rolls bad,
okay,
it's that's how the group action covers people.
All right, cool. So let's all throw some maneuver. Who's leading the action? Commander?
Yeah, I'll lead it.
Okay. Or officer, I guess.
Well, I've got the stress to do it, and I can make I don't think scale really matters here, but if it did, I could improve it.
You can improve the scale. I think the heavy is the slowest, so like that's what you're pumping rounds into and wasting black shot on. So what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that as a devil's bargain, you are consuming the last of these squads in yours black shot supplies?
Yes. That is exactly what I'm doing.
Okay. So you want to give the squad an extra die as that devil's bargain, I believe?
Yeah.
Or do you want to take it? Both are fine. Just asking how you want to distribute stress here.
I think I'll take it.
Okay.
I think that's give it better. Well, Jay, what's your maneuver?
It's 1.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take it.
All right, cool.
I'm just figuring slow this thing down enough and that we can get out. So,
Misha, are you running with the group?
Yeah, I'm like herding the rookies out.
Awesome. So you're covering Cobalt Raging is helping out the officer here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. Thank you.
All right, everybody, give me some maneuver rolls. Let's see them.
All right.
What's our position and effect?
I think it's risky and standard because you're not trying to kill it, right? So like you're not trying for anything greater than that.
But we're still gotta traverse all this ground.
Yep.
Oof. Somebody roll better than me.
Oof. That's too stress.
Yeah.
Heavy brings it home.
So I'm gonna give you the shitty part of this situation, right? So like you're firing black shot into it. You folks are all retreating. I'm gonna throw a die for the rookies. Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it. See.
Let me just do that real quick. Rooks, let's do it.
All right. Well, I had exactly enough stress that I could handle all of that fucking up. And
so there's this moment where this thing gets up, right? And it reaches over and it grabs the chandelier parts that it had cut apart. And you see like its hands sizzling and the metal starting to heat. And it goes to like throw the chandelier and basically just like smash across the unit with shatters of crystal when the heavy does something awesome. What do you do here to anchor the group and allow them to escape? Because everyone's like, the heavy's real slow. Are we going to get away? But you do something totally cool that saves the day. What is it, Jay?
So the armor, is it fully up and moving, or is it just down? Is the sword?
Oh, well, maybe it's not moving well. Like you folks shot it a whole bunch, so it's like stuttering a bit. But yeah, it's moving.
What I'd like to do is pin it with its own sword.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Yeah, we see it like lift that thing up, and then we see that classic movie moment where like the sword comes out of its midsection, and we see you actually like pin it to the wall with that glowing red blade.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. This is why I love you playing the hippie. Thank you. Cool. So we're gonna have this like scene cut montage of you folks like running down hallways, and then like a door opens, and we see your scout like put 3 arrows into some rotters there, and essentially I'm just gonna do like an escape montage because your maneuver was really to get away. So like
Yeah.
that feels pretty good.
Cool.
Back in the courtyard. Let's hear how you and the commander are trying to get to the escape route. What does that look like?
Mhm.
So you fell.
Yeah,
You took level 2 harm. You can resist the level 2 harm, or you can resist being in a desperate situation.
I would like to resist being in a desperate
You
situation.
can resist both too, but it's 2 resistance rolls.
Even one gets risky here.
Yeah,
So
exactly. I don't recommend it, but
so my question is, how do you resist being in a desperate situation? What do you do, either at the last second or after the last second here?
So I kind of think, if it's okay with you, on the way down, I see where we're about to land, and I like grab onto the commander and like kick the wall of the building to like maneuver us into falling into like another building or something, or like a court, like a area that's got like a wall or something in between the whole courtyard of undead and us.
like a little
Awesome.
outhouse, a little side house.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna narrate a thing if it's okay. I feel like you reach out and you grab like, it's pretty close to the ground. Like it may only be like a floor up. There's like an iron lantern holder, or maybe like a little flag holder or something. Yeah. And so I'm gonna change your level 2 harm. It's gonna be called pulled muscles, because you're gonna like damage your shoulder. You're gonna take some like severe rib damage, right? Like, but you're gonna grab it, probably yell out, and then like swing the commander into like the straw roof of where the stables were.
Yeah.
And then drop yourself through there too. So there's like a hole in the roof. There's like straw falling out. There might be some undead that see you, but they're across a courtyard. Right. You're in a bad way, right? Because like your side and your shoulder and stuff is like pretty hurt. But you're up and you're not in plain view and you're not surrounded, right? Does that sound fair?
That's great. I love it.
Awesome. So how do you and the commander? Oh wait, resistance roll.
Yeah. But this is prowess, so you get.
It is prowess.
Okay.
And don't forget that you get an extra die because of your Barton heritage.
Sure. I got a 5.
So it only costs you 1 stress. You still have 1 stress remaining.
Yay.
See, you could have resisted both.
I mean,
I gotta get lucky, Shan. You pushing your luck there.
Yes. Sean is pushing his luck.
So my question for you is, how do you plan to get away from this?
Yeah, that's a great question. What's in the stables? Are there horses in the stables?
Not anymore, probably.
Oh darn. I can hope.
Well, actually, I you know what? Let's make a fortune roll.
Okay, cool.
The undead don't use horses, and horses are freaked out AF by undead. Yeah. So they haven't been here very long. They've only been here days. So it's unlikely that some of the rotters have like done their ghouly eating.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But I'm gonna give it 2d6. On a 6, you have a horse that's fairly coherent. On a 4 to 5, you'll get a horse, but it's panicked. And on a 1 to 3, no horses.
Cool.
4. There is one very scared horse that's been trapped in its little corner, and it is not happy because nobody's fed it in 2 days, and it is scared AF.
Yes.
What would you like to do?
So what I'm going to do, and I feel real bad about this, but I'm just going to let the horse out, right?
Okay. You want it to be a distraction.
I want it to be a distraction.
Okay.
And I feel real bad about this because this horse is going to die. But this horse was going to die anyway, so...
Understood. What was the first time you rode a horse as a young girl?
Is Barton? What is our territory normally like? Is it?
It's vast, and agrarian is the only details I have. So one of the aspects of this game is we have to decide what Barta is like in our story. So you tell me.
I don't think I have a ton of experience around horses, but I think I actually want to do sort of like a dual montage thing, right? Like when I was a very young child, I think my mom put me on a horse and I was scared as fuck, right? It was a giant monster. This thing could just trample me when I was super scared. And then in the sort of, closing of the loop memory, right? Later on in life, as a teen or whatever, I got a chance to ride a horse with my mom, and it was like, oh, these things are pretty neat.
Cool. This horse probably has not too dissimilar coloration from that one.
Of course, yeah.
Of course, because we gotta tug at the heartstrings here, of course. But
our budget was only enough to get one horse for this set. So we just had to put some makeup on it to make it look distressed.
So I guess what I'm asking you is, how do you want to do you want, are you trying to distract these people? Are you trying to scare this horse with discipline so that it causes a large ruckus? How are you approaching this problem? How are you using this to benefit you so that you can get away here?
I'm trying to discipline this horse.
Okay. Well, that's smart, because I don't think I could apply your hurt shoulder and side to this, because usually I can give you -1 dice. If you're like, we run away, I'll be like, nice, -1d to maneuver. So okay, go ahead. I'm going to say that this is a risky discipline. The risk being, of course, that some undead don't get distracted by the horse. I don't think it's going to be harm.
Effect?
We're going to say standard. If you roll 4 to 5, it's probably going to be limited, which means that some undead come for you. But
okay, and I have no bonus dice. I got a 6.
Nice.
Bring
awesome. It home, Raya.
So yeah, I think there's this wild-eyed, crazed horse that goes charging into the undead, and it tramples multiple rotters, and it's kicking and neighing, and we see 2 shadows wandering off in the background, and we cut away so we don't see this horse die horribly when a horror is just stop it.
Thank you.
But yes, awesome. So I think that's going to be the end of the mission. And we're good job, everybody. And now we're gonna go through the after mission phases.
We got through this mission and no one died. That is a win.
Good job. So all right, awesome. Let me check my timings and everything. So obstacles after the mission. Here we go. Once the starting mission is completed, the Legion players will now select roles to portray during the campaign phase. As part of creating these roles, they will ask you a bunch of questions, and I have a bunch of answers for you. One thing that I will note for everybody is that this mission is particularly glorious. So most military units would just be like, Commander is stolen. That sucks. We should do something else, not get murdered by undead.
Let's get a new commander.
But Zora is like, no. We are going to do a daring rescue into an enemy fortress. And so I guess that was approved by the Legion, because Zora is not a commander. She can give advice, but she is not actually the head of the Legion. But it does mean that she gains a favor, which means that she's closer to advancing, which means that you folks are going to get cool new powers from your chosen eventually. But this is where I talk to the group and I say, hey, what does everyone want to play as a role? We have to have 3 roles, and then we have 2 optionals, ones of which one we're going to pick one. The 3 mandatory roles that people have to pick are Quartermaster, Commander, and Marshal. The Marshal is responsible for keeping the lists of the Legion and getting to know these people. Also, they make any NPCs and additional characters the Legion picks up as rewards for various missions. So that's the Marshal. Marshal also gets to decide who goes on missions, which, if you want to play your character, that is the only way to be sure.
Because they also decide who gets to play which character too, right?
They do. Although it's recommended that you talk to your table, but they get final say. And they do engagement rolls and XP and stuff like that, which, by the way, since there is no marshal, I'm going to do XP here in 2 seconds. Second, there is a quartermaster. The quartermaster is the kind of like long-term health of the Legion person. They do a bunch of accounting and beankeeping in the sense that they track all of the like blackshot material and other things like that the Legion has. But their actual like concrete goal is to sort of plan ahead and figure out how to support the Legion throughout their campaign. The healthiest legions are the ones that have like a quartermaster that's usually like compensating for bad missions and prepping for the kinds of missions that they want to do, and having some rad long-term projects that change the scope of the game. Last but not least is the commander of the Legion, who we've seen a little piece of here. The commander decides which way the Legion moves. They also control intel, so they're able to ask intel questions. They make the decisions on what kind of missions the Legion's going to pursue. They're kind of a risk-reward role, whereas the quartermaster is like resource management role. And so those are 3 roles that we have to have. And then the last 2 roles that we may have, if we have 4 players or more, is the lorekeeper, who keeps the annals of the Legion, gets to tell stories, sets back at camp scenes, does all the cool story gamey roleplay stuff, or the spymaster, who is they basically play a mini game where they're fighting against the broken. They like try and suss out their plans. They find missions for the Legion, that kind of stuff. They get spies. So yeah. Cool. So let's talk about roles. What do folks want to do? What do they want to claim? Is anyone feeling their heart set on anything in particular?
Well, my heart was set on Lorekeeper, but I don't think I can play Lorekeeper if we have 3 mandatory roles and 3 players, right?
No,
you
we
have
4 players.
4 players.
We have 4 players? Oh, we have 3 players plus me. I'm also playing.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm tired, you guys.
It's okay, Jen. We heart you and we don't judge you.
I'm totally judging.
I mean, it's not safe for characters, but it's safe for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I think, Jen, if you want Lorekeeper,
Yes,
I am totally happy with that.
No, I'm good with that.
Yeah,
Can I have Marshall?
you got it. Jay, what are you feeling? Quartermaster or commander?
I could go either way.
Yeah.
Let's go with commander.
I'm gonna go with
Awesome.
Commander. Okay, cool. I'm quartermaster. I should have prepped for that. I should have thought about what that would be, but that's okay. I'll figure it out on the fly.
Yeah, but it's fine.
It's cool. So I will help you folks set up your roles in a hot second here. But let me just say, the first job of the marshal. Actually, I have no idea if we're on the same. Yes, we are. We're in the same way. So my gestures are correct directionally. So Misha, as the marshal, would you like to step us through?
Look the other direction.
Oh, the other direction?
Yeah, there you go. Now Misha, you look the other direction.
We're mirrored. Okay.
So I'm looking that way.
No, yeah. You look the other way. Switch directions, I promise you. Switch directions on stream. Misha, you're looking away from him right now.
Oh, shit.
There you go. Okay, perfect.
So
Excellent.
Misha, would you like to lead us through XP for the mission?
Sure. Why not? Yeah. I can find that page, really. Hold on. One moment. Experience. Aha! After the primary mission, remind the other players to mark XP for their characters. That's probably not it.
I think we can just do the little like XP questions on everyone's like.
Let's make this easy on me.
Let me ask this: who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Jen, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. Every time you roll a desperate action, mark XP. I don't think I did that at all. At the end of the okay, cool. I survived. That's
1
awesome.
XP.
Yeah.
Yay.
Surviving is worth XP.
If you helped your squad through medical knowledge or emotional comfort, I totally helped my Barton friend.
Yeah.
You brought into play your heritage or trauma. I mean, handing off those charms cost me a thing.
Yes, it did.
But I got them back.
That feels like a heritage.
But
Yeah.
I mean, you brought it into play, right? Like,
Mhm.
I'm willing to lose my armor. I'm willing to die, but I'm not willing to lose my charms. That's a heritage thing, right?
Yeah.
And then per the highest threat of opponent faced.
3.
Nice.
Oh, dang.
6 XP. Feel free to put it wherever. Misha, you want to go next? Or you ready?
So every time I roll a desperate action, I think I did one of those.
Well, we can look in the chat, right?
Hey,
That's
there's a
true.
good point.
Roll 20 to the rescue.
Yeah. Roll 20 to remind us what we did.
I'm not seeing any desperates
I don't remember a desperate.
for anybody, actually, which is odd. This feels like a very desperate mission.
It
You folks were
does.
pretty good at mitigating risk.
I was thinking of the effect. Never mind.
All right.
So yeah. I survived the mission. Yay.
1 XP. Good job.
Good job, soldier.
I helped my squad through stealth or foresight. I think we were pretty stealthy.
Yeah.
I brought into play my heritage or traumas. I don't think I did.
So I'm gonna teach you a cool trick. According to this game, if you actually use your heritage traits, it counts. So you took normal load, but you were traveling quick, and we brought that up several times. Like it was important for like crossing that courtyard and stuff like that. So that actually counts as using your heritage.
Awesome sauce. Then I will count. I didn't have any traumas, so I didn't use any traumas. And then per highest threat of opponent faced, and that was also 3. So
6 XP. Good job.
there you go.
Jay, you wanna hit us up next?
Sure. I have the same every time you roll a desperate action, but I don't think I did.
No, nobody did.
I don't think we rolled
scrolled
any.
up. Yeah, there were no desperates.
I get 1 for surviving the mission.
Woohoo!
Nice.
1 if I help my squad through might or fortitude.
Oh yeah.
I think I helped through might.
Hell yeah.
You brought into play your heritage or traumas. I think I brought my struggles with being devout, which is part of my heritage.
Yeah.
Cool.
And also, you did like take Jen's token and hold on
Yeah.
to them for her.
I did do that.
This is also where I point out a couple of other things. You talked about your mom, the fact that there are rhinos in Barda, and you know that's now a part of your heritage. And
That's
I
true.
will also point out that in a very concrete physical way, you did resistances with your plus prowess resist. So I'm mentioning
Plus,
all of these
apparently,
things.
you should get +1 because you have a eye patch hat combo.
I mean, Nathan's not
Bonus
wrong.
XP for cosplay. Quick, let me fix the rules.
Oh yeah. Actually, we're not playing our characters anymore. So
Oh yeah,
yes,
thank
because that's also my cosplay. There we go.
goodness. It's hot. That
There
thing
we
is
go.
warm, man.
I'm no longer Zayanova.
Awesome.
Fix the
Highest threat
rules.
of opponents faced.
A 3. So I think you get 6 XP as well there.
Awesome.
Sean.
All right, Zayanova. I think I'm going to be in the same. I survived the mission, so I'm getting 1 there. I helped my squad through enforcing discipline or strategic planning. I don't think there wasn't too much. There was a little bit of discipline, but it was mostly strategic planning. I feel like we tackled this as cleverly as we could. My heritage came up mechanically, but for me, the important element was when I had the flashback to the other Zemyati Quartermaster, who I'm now playing, I guess. Who I've just picked their trait as frugal. So I it's even more meaningful to me now that I've made them frugal, that I'll be like, you gotta like send us this extra equipment. And also the whole bit about the Zemyati raiding the Aldermoney, and therefore knowing about the location and whatnot. So that established some potential conflict between those two heritages as well. So that was meaningful to me. And threat 3 foe. So I'm taking 6 as well.
Cool. So I'm gonna do a thing with all of you in between sessions, which is we're gonna fill out our quartermaster, marshal, etc. sheet. I want to tell you that for your mission rewards, you're gonna start with some supply, and your morale is gonna be pretty decent because you succeeded and you recovered the commander. But we'll go over the details of this in the future. So Jen is the lore keeper, and Jen, I wanted to check in with you. Do you want to set a small back of camp scene for us?
I would love to, but I will need help because
Not a problem.
Tired brain.
It's totally cool. So this is going to be, so the way this works is we're going to choose from a high morale, and you can pick any of the scenes. Do you have your sheets open by any chance?
Which sheet? The
actual character sheets.
No, I didn't. Never even got them.
Not a problem. Do you have the actual book? Because I know you were doing.
Because Jen proofed this book.
Jen proofed this book. So fortunately, it's also going to be in the book. I'm going to give you the page number. And
perfect.
I'm going to put in Zoom. I'll put the sheets.
I just emailed Sean and Karen about a thing I missed on my proofread.
Oh.
So
so back at camp scenes are on page 250.
250.
And it's on the left-hand side. You're going to look at the high morale scenes. Any one of those is basically like a prompt, and you can just set a scene. And so due to time, we're going to role play through a back at camp scene. We can take our time. We can do additional like free play scenes afterwards, but we'll do the actual campaign phase at the start of the next game.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. Oh, storms darken the skies. Rumors and wild speculation spread.
Great. So that's the thing that's going to happen. And tell us what, frame this like you would like a LARP scene or a fiasco scene or whatever. Tell us who's present. Are we amongst the rookies in camp discussing a thing? Are we talking about specific, rumor? Are we going to play the command staff talking about stuff? What kind of scene do you want to see based on this prompt?
Yeah. I don't want to see command staff. I want to see rookies, and maybe Zora.
Okay.
And maybe a specialist, but more rookies than anything else.
Cool. So do we want to do a different squad than the one that was on this mission, or do we want to do the Silver Stags?
No, let's do a different one. Let's do one that's been sitting back and who maybe saw the thunder and lightning, and then the orange from all the flame swords and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this may have been one of the. Are you thinking one of the squads that was performing the diversion? That was with Zora?
Oh, the ones that were back at camp who were holding camp.
Okay. Marshall, since this is a question, there are 6 squads. The squads are the Ember Wolves, who are kind of like the vanguard. They're usually the front line, right? The Ghost Owls, who are like the sneaky stealth experts. They're like snipers and stuff. The Silver Stags we've seen on the mission. The Star Vipers are a squad that's usually deals with supernatural elements and things like that. They're trained to hold their own when shit gets weird. There's the Grinning Ravens, who are usually the backbone of the Legion. They're the person that founded them used to fight in the middle of a fight while laughing, and so that's their thing. And the Shattered Lions are known at, their motto is the pride of the Legion. They're the best of the best, the cream of the crop, and that's usually where the soldiers go first. So which of these squads do you think is staying at home protecting the camp while the rest of the people are doing this wacky mission?
So I'm a giant fan of Corvids, so we're gonna go with Grinning Ravens.
Awesome. I'm gonna have a rad Grinning Ravens logo to show people, but go ahead and so cool. So the Grinning Ravens are back at camp, and they only saw this stuff in the distance. So Jen, do you want to set this before everyone returns or after everyone returns?
I want to set it before everybody returns.
Cool. So go ahead and tell everyone where's this happening? Are they on watch on the walls? Are we taking a break while somebody else is on watch? What's the seeing your light?
Yeah, I think it's on a break, right? So it's not maybe the whole squad, but it's a few of them. And it's just like they've just been waiting, right? The weather is crappy. They didn't get to go on the mission. They just have to wait. Like they're not. Maybe some are happy about it, but I think some of them aren't for sure.
Cool. So it's raining. Are we in like slickers, or are we like under a roof? Like, is there like a big tent? Are we in the mess?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So everyone just I'm just gonna make some notes here about the Grinning Ravens. Tell me, like, if you want to pick like a nationality, maybe some pronouns, like what just tell us a little bit about what your rookie's like. And Jen, go ahead and let us know what the wild rumor or speculation that is flying around is, unless you want us to each come up with one.
Am I doing just the rumor, or am I doing both of those?
No, you can just come up with a rumor, or you can just say like, you folks come up with something during the scene.
Yeah, like. I mean, yeah, because my brain is not working so hot. Let me think about the rumor, but I'm totally open to suggestions or ideas.
So do we know who did go on the mission?
Yeah, we're gonna say that the Lions and the Ember Wolves were the vanguard, and the Pride of the Legion that are holding the center. And we know that the Stags crept up the sewer, so we know that the Owls and the Vipers are back at camp.
Okay.
So yeah.
I heard that the reason why Zora wants to go after the commander is because they have a thing. Zora's been around for ages and she hasn't picked anyone, but I think she and the commander, there's something going on there. Otherwise, why would we go? People die. It sucks, but people die, right? There's a reason Zora's going after that commander. It's personal.
I love it.
Legit.
Yeah. Makes sense. Adds up.
It does.
I'll buy it. I like it.
Yeah, I think this rookie who's Panyar, they're like excited that other people are like agreeing to it, and so then they just start like making up all kinds of details. Like, yeah, I think I'm okay. I know. The other day I saw Zora looking like real like hard, and I was trying to figure it out, but I bet she was looking at the commander, and they were looking, and she starts like basically just like as long as people are agreeing, they just keep escalating. Like, yeah, I bet that's the other thing. And it's all like, I bet it happened, not I saw it happen, but I'm sure that was
wild speculation.
Yes.
What are the rest of you folks doing?
I think there's an Orite tinkering with something. And he, like, every now and again, he looks up and he sees like the orange flashes on the wall, and he fiddles with something else. He looks, he fiddles with something else. And he finally holds up the thing. He's like, "Look, watch!" And he pushes a button and it glows orange. That's all it does.
Nice.
Is it like an orange flame? Is it like a lantern, but just sort of tweak the chemicals so that
so it's orange.
Yeah, nice. I think that's rad if we have like orange flames for Zora, our little lanterns or something.
We can use them for signaling because they're orange, so we'll know it's like a Zora squad.
Yeah.
That's all it does. It glows orange.
Yeah, that's all it does.
We're not chosen here. We can't just make magic happen.
I mean, it's alchemy. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. But you can't make it glow orange all the time.
I cannot, but I also do not need orange glow. So.
I think one of the rookies very quietly, almost to themselves, speculates that Zora has told the commander something about the Cinder King. And that's why we had to either get the commander back or kill her, because we can't have the Cinder King knowing that we know this thing or whatever.
Whoa, that's a good rumor.
Good one.
I think whatever rookie spoke about the orange glow just gets real quiet and gets real wide-eyed.
Yeah. I'm like, I think the Pioneer that I'm playing is just like, oh, yeah, that might make
Sorry.
no, it's great. I mean, they were just literally just like, oh, this is a cool idea. People like it. I'm gonna roll with it. So, I think that's a great like scene in too. Like, is everybody kind of like, oh, that's grim. Unless, sorry, Jay, you haven't described one of the characters.
I think there's another rookie rumor is where I'm at.
Go for it.
So we played the Silver Stags, right?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So I think the rumor is the rookie is underwhelmed. He's like, whatever, those guys, man, they're a powder keg, right? They're one mission from just erupting, right? They've got problem children throughout the whole squad, right? Just know even a bad dog gets a good day every once in a while. Whatever.
Awesome. So I think
I feel like vicariously insulted.
Yeah, right.
Welcome to Band of Blades. This will happen a lot.
My ears are tingling.
So I think there's probably a moment where like the Ricky that I'm portraying just says like, so are you saying we can do better? Are you saying we should volunteer for the next mission?
If they give it to us, maybe they're trying to just wipe out that whole squad. Whatever. Any of us could do better.
Smash cut to Graf Zardani staring at the horror like in terror.
So I feel like for whatever reason there's I don't know why I just adopted a Zemyati, right? So I think the Zemyati is carving, and she carves tiny little ravens all the time, right? And so like sometimes like when people get buried, she'll leave a raven with them, or like when the squad does particularly well, she'll leave a raven on the battlefield. So I think she like sets the latest raven down on the table and says, so tell me, Jay, where's your rookie from?
Let me see. Pulling up. I think Panyar.
Awesome. So I think she taps the raven, because like you have like the Legion logo on one shoulder and like your unit logo on the other.
Right.
But she taps her raven logo and says like, I'm Raven forever, but if you're saying that we can do better, then we're gonna have to put our money where our mouths are.
I think we just need a shot.
Okay. So Marshall, just for next time, I think there's some disgruntlement around camp. The Ravens feel like they haven't been given a shot, and they're a little underwhelmed, and maybe there is a powder keg situation happening in the Silver Stag. So we'll see.
And that we're full of misfits, which that part is true.
Jen, what heritage was the rookie that was mumbling under their breath?
I didn't say because I forgot I had to do that part.
You don't have to, but go ahead if you want to.
I mean, I was just gonna say all right because that was the one that was not mentioned yet, I think.
No, there's
I think
two.
Visha had an all right, but that's okay. The Ravens can have two all rights. It's rad.
Yeah, so the Ravens are composed of one Zemyati, two Panyar, and two all rights, just so we know.
Awesome. I made a little note. Awesome. So we got to see the grinning ravens. I have a question for you. Who's cooking? Since we're in the mess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is someone prepping like food for the squad? Don't make it the Zemyati or we're eating radishes.
I mean, we have support staff too. There's more than just the soldier.
And they can. I didn't know if somebody was like, we are rookies, and oftentimes we bring little touches of home. I didn't know if that was important, or if the Ravens are like, nah, we eat whatever's served. If we had Martin, I would be like, but
I mean, we probably complained about it the whole time. Well, we're
awesome. So that's the thing is we're just like, this is terrible gruel. Wait until it's my turn to cook. Okay, awesome. I love it.
My mother makes gruel. It's like this.
Awesome. So that feels like a good scene.
Yeah.
And I also want to point out that we're getting close to time. We've got like 5 minutes to say our goodbyes. So I feel like that's a good wrap. Is everyone cool with that? Lore Keeper?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So we'll set up our sheets and get our roles all set up for next time.
Nice.
Do you folks want to do we want to do outros? I think we still have the order up there.
Yeah, I'll start them off. Do we? Yeah, never mind. There's other campaign stuff, but we're gonna do that next time.
I'm sorry. I have to ask this one question in this scene.
Yeah.
Judd dropped it in chat, and I can't leave the scene without it. I really need this question.
Yeah.
I think this is a question that I'd like these rookies to answer. If you had to kill the commander, would you have?
Oh.
My Orite says yes, like without hesitating.
I think my Panyar is maybe projecting a little bit of affection for the commander that they think that Zora has. So I'm like, no way. I couldn't do that.
I wouldn't think twice about it.
Yes.
The Legion is life. Absolutely.
Probably. Yeah.
I think the Simiati polishes her raven says, the Legion is cleverness. We would have found a way to save the commander. It's a little bit of that Simiati loyalty. Gotta bring that in.
Wait, that wasn't the question.
That was the Batman answer.
That was the Batman answer.
Yes.
Okay, so cool. So we're gonna do some outros.
Yeah, awesome. I'm Sean. I use he, him pronouns. You can find me everywhere at Sean Nittner. I had a blast. This was so good. This is what everything I was open for. We did this mission. We kicked ass. It was a combination of being smart and being gutsy and things going wild, and you all were amazing. And I loved it. It did everything I was hoping it was going to do. And I'm so excited about playing again next week. Yeah, that's me. How about you, Jen?
Yeah, I'm Jen Martin. Use she, her pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at Jen, Jenn Martin 80. And I also have a bunch of like links and crap there. Yeah, same. I was excited about this game when I proofread it, and I feel like I sort of nicely strong-armed myself into a campaign, and I'm not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, and I'm super stoked about this. So, who's next?
I think that's me. I'm Misha B. She, her. On Twitter, I am BG Gameworks. BlackGirlGameworks.com. Yeah, this is fun. I've played Blades a couple of times. I've played Mutants in the Dark, which is another offshoot, which is also fun. And I'm liking this one. It's a totally different flavor and a totally different world. I like it. It's cool. And I get to wear a wig, so
Right.
Always a bonus.
To be fair, Misha, you are the master of cosplay, like many games.
True facts.
How about you, Jay?
I am the Rhino. I'm Mad J. He, him. I'm Mad J0 on Twitter. This was awesome. It's got a very Black Company feel to it, and I kind of dig that. So I'm looking forward to more of it. So
yeah.
So I'm Strash at he, him at Strash A on the Twitters. I want to thank this amazing crew. Thank you all so much for going on this. Somewhat like the adventure with me. The first mission usually goes well because everybody shows up with no wounds, no stress, and everything looks great. So if you think that everything will always be peaches and cream, folks, tune in next week for
or everything breaking.
Things get a little bit more interesting after the first mission. So thank you so much for playing with me. And for all of you who are watching, we are filming this when just the beta is still out, but the full book, as you heard, has been proofread. all the art is collapsing in. We're doing like final sets of edits. So hopefully by the end of this month, we will put out like an pre-production artless copy to like everybody that's backed the Blitz Kickstarter and or on has already gotten it off of Drive-Thru RPG. But more importantly, what I'm excited about is playing more rad Band of Blades with these super cool people. So thank you all for hanging out with us in chat and giving us great ideas. Special shout outs to Judd, who was just rolling them off there. And hopefully tune in next week for more adventures with the Legion. So that's it.
All right. Oh, and if I was really smooth, I'd have a smooth outro from that, but I didn't. But I will click us out now. So
smooth outro.